Hey guys, Reyfar here, and today I'm going to talk about Winter Games by Kyell Gold. Lovely covers by Sabretooth Ermine, who I quite like her work. It's been a while since I've checked it out recently, like a FA, but I've seen it around. It's still really sick. That cover is just one of my favourite in the fandom. Just like the detail on the fur and the texture and the room and everything. I really quite like it. So this is... I forgot to check which number cupcake it was. It is the 5th cupcake. Yeah, it came after Dangerous Jade. And Science Fiction. So it's pretty kind of there in the spectrum of his, I guess, shorter works. Set in 2012, Sierra Snowpaw comes to Loningan Ski Resort. But as an Australian, I'd probably pronounce it Loningan. So Loningan Ski Resort is in terms of the Forester universe, it's just near Highburn, in the western Stony Mountains. So I think Highburn was Seattle. So I'm pretty sure it's close to the border of Canada or Canada or whatever. But I don't think it's actually set in Canada. So he was spurred on about a month earlier by a cryptic message in the old Tartok alumni newsletter from his old high school, and he's been trying for the past 15 years to kind of find Carmel Coyote, who is his kind of best friend, partner, and a bit of a lover towards the end of his time at Tartok. And after the incident that is revealed later on in the book, I don't know if I'll get to it. He takes his... after this, I guess, a bit more concrete evidence that feels like Carmel is reaching out to him. He sells his old life behind, which I feel like it didn't really seem like much, and as the book goes on, you kind of see, he's still quite obsessed by it, like he's living, but he hasn't really moved past it, which is it's interesting. Whether it's right as a person to be obsessed, I don't know. So he's packed his life in like 2 duffel bags, and so they're both kind of hiding from the ghosts and mistakes of their pasts in different ways. I'd say Carmel a bit more early on, but later on as it goes on, it's kind of elaborated a bit on. And then the rest of the story is interchanged between the 1997, the back when they all met at Tartok, with Sierra and his imposed girlfriend Natasha, who's this other snow leopard, who, well, early on you kind of have, I guess, the simple-minded misgiving that she's only interested in a relationship with him for the ambassador's ball. But despite, I guess, Carmel's misgivings of her, I feel like there's a lot more going on than I guess Sierra gives her kind of respect for. It kind of because the way, I quite like her, but I need to remember that we're seeing her through Sierra's eyes. As the novel continues, it's intercut between 2012 and 1997, where Sierra's meets Carmel Coyote. He's sent there because he fucked up. He trespassed where he shouldn't, and like a federal installation through means that were I guess the word is promising, because to touch on it a little bit and bluntly, so he's a bit of a hacker, and it's kind of interesting how that kind of comes up. Like, he still relies on it. He's still clearly a bit of a... He still comes off as very kind of morally grey, like his own past. While the past is... while the story kind of focuses on, I guess, the immediate past of 1997, his own current past is kind of interesting. So going into it, Winter Games is pretty interesting. I really enjoyed it. There's lots of fun things, there's... So I forgot to mention, so Tartok is set in Switzerland. It's you can kind of work it out, but without the interior illustration by a saber-tooth ermine here, where there's a map of Switzerland on the back of the wall. It's kind of I guess it's obfuscated. Like there's mentions of going to Le Test, Paris, it being close, and I guess the melting pot of European nationalities at the school, like Gino and the other Arctic foxes, which is clearly from Ruma, and I can't remember what the name for Forest Universe Italy was. I remember Rome was Ruma, but I can't remember what Italy was. Um, and yeah, I quite like a little bit of I guess the prankiest high schooler. Because just at least that one scene where Carmel puts erotic pictures on the teacher's slideshow presentation, and they come up in front of the class, and it just reminded me recently of a couple months ago. I was at a Bavarian cafe catching up with some of my high school friends, and them talking about someone doing similar shit, like not as I guess pornographic, but still fucking with projectors and shit like that, and just being just cunts to people. Which you kind of you feel bad in like hindsight, like oh my god, yeah. But as a kid, you're like, So the setting's really cool. I quite like the Ski Lord setting. We do go back to it in a short story in 12 sides. Yeah, 12 sides. A short story anthology of the stories that Kyle Gold did with his like first year Patreon run. And we come back to Brett, who's still working at the ski resort when I think it's probably just before the events of Winter Games, because it's talking about a music festival, which I think was before or after. There's alternative music. It was hinted at. I haven't really written down the timeline. Yeah, so yeah, there's cool things about obviously Sierra being a lot more climatized to the weather because he's a snow leopard, and then there's a really cool scene where he's meeting up with Carmel outside on the ski fields, like on the deck of this restaurant, and he's like all rugged up, and he's got like the scarf all over his muzzle, and his massive like glasses, and there's a cool thing where like he unwraps his muzzle so he can fucking talk, and like he talks for a little bit. He's like, yeah, no, it's too fucking cold to wrap myself up. Poor Coyote boy. Yeah, so it is a really interesting piece. It stands well, definitely in like I guess more contemporary setting compared to the rest of his work. I quite like it. I really like. So going through the second time. How do I start this? So one of the reasons why I wanted to read this is because I read it, I think probably 2013, shortly after it came out. It was kind of the early days when he was, I guess, putting his ebooks out, and I had it on a Kobo reader or something. I don't know where that is. And I liked it, but I had a lot of misgivings. Like, I really didn't have fond memories for Carmel. And I got his name wrong. I thought it was Caramel. And I think before I even read it, I put a tweet out and I called him Caramel. And I'm like, and I was reading it like, oh fuck, his name's not Caramel. It's kind of close. Yeah, so I was very opinionated of I guess Carmel's morals, and I guess his whole confidence games angle, and I guess scamming or cheating people, if you want to use harsh language as that. But yeah, being more adult and grown up and educated and I guess social issues and such like that, it lent a better perspective to it. Like, I didn't see it as I guess much of a negative stripe on his character, because at least early on when they're kids, it's stupid kid stuff, telling lies to get to kind of I guess, get the favour of people, and it's just like, oh well, I agree with Caramel's conceit towards the end of their time at high school. Is that like, well, if they're happy believing the lie, it's just, what's the harm? But yeah. Well, I mean, there is harm, like, for in the grander scheme of things, it's probably not the best. Yeah. Uh, um, like, I mean, there's lots of little things I wanted to touch on, like, I guess what Coyote's been doing in the last 15 years, where the start of confidence games led him in his life is actually really interesting, and I wholeheartedly support it. Yeah, so I totally recommend Winter Games. Pick it up wherever you can. I am losing my train of thought. Give me a second. So yeah, so I totally recommend Winter Games. You can pick it up from most of the ebook sellers. It's probably up there in some way or form. Probably ones like Kobo and Amazon are all heavily cropped with the one, I guess, erotic image. But you can pick it up from Jaffa Books. It's still there. And yeah, for Planet, there's probably a couple of cool places you can grab it. I don't know if there's an audiobook. I might look into that. That'll be pretty cool. So behind me today, I've got Associate Student Bodies yearbook. So that's relevant because they're doing Rabbit Valley they're doing pre-orders for a softcover version of the hard book that I've got there, which you should probably get if you've got any interest in, because I got that like nearly a good 10 years ago, so it'll probably be another 10 years after this run you can get it. It probably hasn't aged well, but it's still cool. Next up is The Hero by Tyrion, which I read about halfway through as one of the books I brought along to Texas Fairy Fiesta. I'm pretty sure I got him to sign that one, and it's really cool. Like, I still definitely enjoyed it. The couple years back I started. Plus, it's a hot size play with how petite the young hyena boy is. I can't remember his name. He has something cute for a name. And last is Hot Dish, Volume 1, which I'm still going through. I've read a couple stories in it. They're all awesome, obviously. And I heard somewhere that the third Hot Dish is probably coming out in a year or two now. I don't know. It is a planned series. That's as much as I know. Really. Yeah. So, I've been Reyfar, and I'll catch you later.